This has got to be one of the best cases of journalist fragility that I've ever seen. It started with a press release from Volkswagen, who apparently said that it was an April Fool, that they were going to rename themselves Volkswagen to promote electric cars. Journalists got fooled, and they have now been having an unbelievable hissy fit for the last 24 hours. The first tweet I saw on the matter was fragile journalist Nathan Bomey of USA Today saying, and this is how I read it in my voice. You see Laura Kolodny saying Volkswagen's name change of U.S. Volkswagen operations was an April Fool's marketing prank, sources say, which is retweeted by one journalist. This is from CNBC, retweeting USA Today. Dear Volkswagen, you lied to me. You lied to the AP, CNBC, Reuters, and various trade pubs. This was not a joke. It was deception. In case you hadn't noticed, we have a misinformation problem in this country. Now you're part of it. Why should anyone ever trust you again? Oh, we fell for an April Fool's prank, and it's literally the end of the world. Oh, I would go yell at my wife, but I'm sad and alone, so I'm gonna tweet about it. That's how it read to me. Now, if you look at the replies, it's absolutely hilarious. A lot of people responding to this have no idea how media works. Credibility is hard to earn and easy to destroy for both reporters and PR professionals. For what it's worth, I'm sharing your tweets and other similar tweets in our firm to strongly caution against things like this. I mean, you're a business reporter who couldn't do the 2 seconds of research to see that they didn't even bother filing a trademark for this. That would have been one way. Right. It's like Volkswagen is kind of teaching them a lesson in not just trusting whatever someone says and then reporting it as fact. Ultimately, what this is journalists. I'm sorry, I mispronounced that. Urinalists getting exposed as doing zero. This is what Twitter has done to journalism. They're like, oh, there's a tweet. Oh, I'm going to just go over to PolitiFact. Oh, okay, it's real. Okay, retweet. That's like the most amount of research they do. I mean, are you joking? Dear Nathan, you've got to cool it down, man. It was an obvious joke, like many other car brands do on April 1st. A simple Google would have shown you that. You are part of the misinformation if you, as a journalist, didn't know that yet. Is it a joke if nobody laughs? Everybody all these journalists in here, I bet you this is auto columnists. Yeah, every one of them getting completely destroyed. I laughed, my whole family laughed, and a bunch of my friends did at Volkswagen and at you reporters who are so quick to act because of your search for relevancy. Germans like to poke fun at the world, and that's exactly what they did, and you took the bait. Dude, are you crying? 600 likes. They made you look like a fool. You should sue them. I mean, everything. I mean, what this really is, didn't know USA Today hired infants. And then look, if you just look at all these stories, the joke is on Volkswagen after April Fool's name change debacle. A day after Volkswagen said it was changing its name to Volkswagen, company now calls it an April Fool's joke. Volkswagen lied about Volkswagen, and it shouldn't have. Volkswagen's April Fool's joke backfires disastrously. On what planet would you call this a backfire? On what planet is this a backfire? Written by a journalist that probably retweeted it. Like, you get it, right? You get that all these journos got outed for doing zero research. Look at this article. This is let's see, Al Jazeera. The joke is on Volkswagen after April Fool's name change debacle. Debacle? It isn't a debacle. This is just faux outrage that you all look like a bunch of morons. This is hilarious. How many articles are there like this? The stakes are too high to joke about, said Tom Morton, chief strategy officer for the U.S. advertising firm. This is the most pressing challenge in the auto industry. Can you go electric? Morton said. Choosing to joke about it undermines their commitment. To who? Literally to who? Whom? To whom? Literally to whom? Who saw this and thought, what? Let me check the date. Okay, it's the day before April Fool's. When I saw it, I was like, oh, it's just a marketing thing. It didn't undermine my opinion of Volkswagen. You know, their garbage electrical systems in the 90s did that. Their whole diesel debacle did that. These are ancient history. These are real debacles. Them making journalists look bad is not a debacle. It's a hilarious W. Volkswagen has become a stock market darling as of late in its rapid-fire EV announcements. Its common stock has soared 80% this year, giving the company a market value of roughly 140 billion euro. The shares fell as much as 3.2% in early intraday trading Wednesday in Frankfurt. Dice held a Tesla-esque Power Day presentation earlier in the month in which he pledged to build 6 new battery factories in Europe. Volkswagen plans to deliver 1 million plug-in hybrids and fully electrical vehicles this year. And by the way, there are a lot of people out there that don't get, like a lot of people see this as like a water, like, oh no, Tesla. First of all, Tesla's 5 years ahead of all these companies and will continue to be so for a very long time. And even when they're not, that's a good thing for U.S. consumers. The biggest problem with Tesla is getting it serviced. I own one. Well, my wife does. Yeah, the mobile service is okay. But once there's like, you know, millions and millions of 30-year-old Teslas out there, they're going to have a real problem with servicing. One thing that, you know, GM and Ford can bring immediately is a immediate network of service. When you need service down the road, you can go to any dealership and you're going to be able to get it worked on. I look forward to Ford getting a good electric car. Don't call it the Mustang, please. Thank you. But, you know, I look forward to Chevrolet having good electric cars. Volkswagen, Audi, all these companies. All this is going to do is push competition to such a point where the consumer gets a better product for a cheaper price. It's not unheard of for companies to use humor to gain publicity. Who's writing this? Morton said IHOP famously renamed itself IHOB, the International House of Burgers, in a temporary stunt to draw attention to its lunch menu. And it worked. This is mainly being done by fast food brands where the stakes are lower and they need a bit of hoopla, Morton said, drawing a distinction with Volkswagen's situation. This is about fundamental change of direction for a world-shaping industry, and there's going to be a lot of baggage. Ooh, jokes! Ooh! I mean, what? All these articles. The company now calls it a joke, written by the same idiots. Volkswagen lied about Volkswagen, and it shouldn't have. Well, let me hear Brendan Turkus about how you're morally outraged that you fell for, even if it wasn't an April Fool's joke, right? Maybe it was just a bad marketing thing, like, we're going to say we're renaming to Volkswagen because we want people to like know that we're serious about electric cars. Maybe that was the entire point of it. So, like a simple Google search would have shown that they didn't actually rename the company. And hundreds of these articles are being written. Volkswagen's sense of humor was fitted with a defeat device. All these angers. Dear brands, you now officially lost your April Fool's Day privileges. Dear Volkswagen, you lied to me. Volkswagen's PR idea of an April Fool's prank is lying in March. Incredible work. I mean, what is this? Is this runoff from not being able to screech at Drumpf anymore? I mean, On March 31st, Volkswagen shared a non-apology on social media as if it's still some big joke rather than an enormous public relations misstep. I'm sorry. Is anybody who was going to buy a Volkswagen today not going to buy one because of this? I think that number is 0. The Journos are the ones that are like booty blasted because they look like a bunch of idiots. What began as an April Fool's effort got the whole world buzzing. So you mean it worked? I mean, it worked is what you're saying? I mean, I don't know. I mean, all these people are complete. Like, who is stumping for journalists, by the way? In my opinion, journalists, the mainstream media, is the enemy of information. Who are these people who don't understand a joke? And again, even if it wasn't a joke, who cares? People should be more upset that journalists did 0 research than a marketing gaffe. Wake up. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.